Welcome to Writer's Life, a place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button. Tap the bell for notifications so that you do not miss out on one single exciting video. I almost forgot to do this today. It wasn't until I was out buying beer, beer run, that I was reminded that this is like a work day for me. See, I'm not reminded that I forget that it's work, but it's because it's not work for me. But anyway, I like to come to you on Sundays, even though you guys, for the most part, will watch it later, which is good. It means you're doing stuff today on this beautiful Sunday. While the world around us is blowing up. The edits to 2 new novels coming soon. American Crime Story is doing pretty well. I'm happy to report. People are getting into it. The 4th one will be out, I'd say, in about a week and a half, something like that. And then I'll give it a little bit of time, and then everything will be combined and come out in one big book. And also it'll be an audio, so ebook, audio, and paperback for your reading, listening, and/or listening pleasure. All right, just something quick today because actually I had to speak at a conference in New York last night. I did so remotely, thank God. I used to do this live and in person, but it would cost me like $1,500 just for a night in New York or whatever. So this is much better ever since COVID now. Like, it's fine to just do it remotely, so that's cool. I was down with that. It was the Next Bestseller Conference, and I spoke back to back with this other very accomplished author, and he's also got some Hollywood credits too as well. Cool dude. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't have permission, but I'm sure the organizer kind of was aware of this. She's really smart, Jen Wilkove, really smart, a best-selling author herself, and she's like an agent and also helps sell scripts and all sorts of stuff. Just go to the Next Bestseller and you'll find out what she's all about. Cool lady. Been friends with her for about 12 years. But I'm sure she knew. She knows what I'm all about. She knows what this gentleman's all about, and I'm sure she put us back to back to kind of get pros and cons of the publishing industry a little bit, because it was funny because this author was really espousing the benefits of having a developmental editor and editors in general. In fact, the way he put it was a good way. The way he put it, he said, "We're the artists and they're the craftspeople." But of course, I couldn't disagree more. I was like, no. If anything, the editors are going to do you an injustice by screwing up your manuscript. I was like, I've had many instances where developmental editors have done nothing but crap on my manuscripts. One book in particular, I would love to get the rights back to, but the publisher's playing hardball. Was just a mess after they finished it. It was just a mess. And then the editor left, and like you couldn't even get answers on anything. And it was my very last Thomas and Mercer book, and they just screwed the pooch on it so badly. And of course they wouldn't admit it. And I remember at the time, it was 2016 or 17, 2016. I can't even remember the name of it. I blocked it out of my head. Was it When Shadows Come? I think When Shadows Come. I didn't come up with the title. That was the first bad thing about that book. I didn't like the title. Like they came up with When Shadows Come. I would never choose that. So when I do eventually get the rights back, and I will eventually, I'm going to change the title and I'm going to go back to the manuscript's original form. Could take 10 years, but who knows? In any case, they would not admit that they screwed it up. They would not take responsibility for it, which saddened me, because in general, I had a really good relationship with Thomas and Mercer, and still do. They own a couple of my books still, and they were really good about giving back some of my others, even though they had sold they had been bestsellers and whatever. So I don't get their, I guess if the two books I'm talking about, one book is this close to earning out its advance, and When Shadows Come is like a million miles away from earning out its advance. So that's probably has something to do with why they can't give the rights back. It's probably not even the publishers, or the editor, chief editor, or whatever. It's probably not even their decision. It's probably a decision that comes from higher up. In any case, though, like our viewpoints were so different. Um, you know, I, I don't think he was like a big believer in independent publishing at all. And in fact, he insists on using at least a traditionally based publisher. I think he's using a smaller press at this time. I couldn't tell you who they are. I did look them up, but I hadn't heard of them, which means nothing because there's a million like small presses and medium-sized presses around. I think there's more than ever. It's just that the real big ones, the big four or five, the big four, are falling apart. But like he was, and I think this guy's like probably about 10 years older than me. I would say anywhere between 6 and 10 years older than me. So I could see where he's stuck in his ways maybe a little bit. Plus, he's got I think he's got like a really cool, very high paying job. So he doesn't, in a way, who can blame him? Go the traditional route because you probably just don't even have time to independently publish. Publishing independently takes time, and it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of legwork. I mean, I love it. I still have a couple contracts traditionally fulfilled, but I don't know if I can't say never, but I'm not so sure I'll ever sign a contract again. I don't know. We'll see. But it's good having that choice, But I just wanted to. I was like saying, like, why? I didn't actually come out and say, like, why would you give your rights away so willingly and just for like a 35% royalty percentage, and maybe if he's lucky, $3,000 a book for an advance. Like, it just doesn't make financial sense. But like I said, he also has like other jobs and other occupations. So, or he used to anyway. And so like I said, I was like, what, like it took me a while to get it through my head, but every book you publish, large or small, is a piece of intellectual property that's like, a little city block in Manhattan, or a piece of a city block in Manhattan that you can license out again and again and again and again, in all sorts of forms. And I learned this from Dean Wesley Smith, and also from Harvey Stambro and some of the others. It just took so long for this to get through my head because I thought, like, if I don't publish traditionally, then I'm not getting the validation I need from my peers. But bullshit, like, it's so much better to go straight to your audience. It's so much faster. It makes so much more financial sense. And also, like, these projects, no publisher's going to want to publish those, 4 short novels and then put them together in a huge anthology that will read as one big long novel. They're not going to do that for me. No, they'd say no. So, like, of course I need to get it out to the public. So of course I'm going to do that independently. I'm going to do it through Better Media. And all those shorter stories and all those like smaller novels, there's no way the traditional publisher is going to publish them. No way. So that means your only choice is to conform to the 60,000 and 90,000 word traditional novel, which is going to go nowhere. If you're lucky to get it into what remains of the bookstores, it'll be there 6 weeks tops, and you're done. Then you're just down to an ebook, maybe not even audio. So to me, it just doesn't make any sense anymore to go the traditional route unless you don't care, unless you just don't need the money. You just want to you want to relinquish all the power and just, you wrote it, you're the artist, and the rest of it just goes, to a company and they take care of it all. I guess that's cool if that's what you're down with. But as for me, I gotta get my Kindle first thing in there so you can see it and think I'm great. You can't even see it, can you? What it looks like. Commemorating 225,000 Kindle first readers of Everything Burns. That's a good book. You should pick it up if you haven't yet. Again, I didn't come up with the title and I don't like it. And when I get the rights back, I'm going to change it. But, anyway, one day I'll tell you the story of Everything Burns. Anyway, but anyway, so I think Jen wanted to juxtapose us to, and juxtapose us, I don't know. Anyway, she wanted us to, butt heads a little bit, just for the sake of the people attending the conference. And it was a nice, friendly exchange, or whatever. And I have all due respect to this gentleman. And I'm going to check out his newest book. It's like a Kennedy JFK assassination thriller, which I like that stuff. So I'm going to definitely check out his latest book and see what it's all about. See if the developmental editor did a good job. All right, that's all I got for you today because I got other stuff to do yet. And it's Sunday, and hopefully you guys are not watching this right now. Watch it later. And I will come to you tomorrow, more than likely. For sure, Tuesday, we have Stanley James, Gangland Publications writer from out of Long Beach, California. He's a cool dude. Real entrepreneur, artist, and we'll see what else. All right, I will talk to you guys later. And of course, ciao, ciao.